Good evening. It's August 13 today, 2020, and it's awfully hot in here, and I have a bug on my chest. Because it's very hot, I have all my windows open here, so I must close them down in case of lots of mosquitoes. So let's first start the show. Welcome back. This is another episode of me live streaming, and it's awfully bloody hot in here, so it's hard working. I was a little bit in doubt. I still have my holiday beard on, probably last week, but let's see. Let's move to the coding window and see what we can do today. Because last week I manually deployed the SDN site to the interwebs. And that had some difficult stuff to do there. Hydrate, drink a lot of water today. What I wanted to do today is have another look at the Office add-in to enable and disable buttons. And I saw some interaction on the on GitHub with respect to that. GitHub, this one. Let's move into here, samples. And I saw the discussion on shared runtime. This is not one. This one. There was some discussion in here. Let me see how my pull request is doing, if that's picked up maybe. I don't think so. I haven't been doing anything around this. Any chance to get this? Comment? It isn't closed, is it? No, it's still open. So I'm not sure why it's still open, because I committed this a long time ago. July the 3rd. July the 3rd already. Almost 6 weeks ago. What do you think? How long should it take to process a pull request? Now I need to find out the discussion. Let me quickly have a look at my phone because it was in my mail. To see where this discussion was going on. Maybe on this one. Because I was starting to do this. PnP add-ins. How to get started on similar project. Number 86. 85. Can we search 86? No way to find it through 86. Let me quickly find the title again. There's a link in here. Where does it bring me on? Docs? Bring me to docs? Just comment in the docs maybe? No. View it on GitHub. There it is. Let's open it with Edge so I can find where it is. It's closed. Really? So it's a closed thingy. And it was indeed in here. So issues is closed. This is the one. I've tried the Excel share runtime, blah, blah, blah. And I want to, I'm interested in the enable, disable. Yeah, that's what we are going to do today. If you're looking to make new Excel from scratch, visit the build your first add-in. That's something on docs, I think, yes. And this is the step that we already did last time. Water is running off from my face. Thanks for your reply for an existing project. I'm trying to enable disable. Here's an article, and then it was closed. If we can get some documentation, blah blah. Well, easy closed. Oops. If they could do the same with my pull request. Rules and gotchas. Well, let's first try to find the project that we created. See data projects. Repos. This was the last one. Is that the one I was working on, maybe? That's this one. Samples. And there I created one open close task pane demo. That's it. So let's get back to here. Command line. Code dot. Now go to the Samples. What's this? Need to log in again. Thing is, what is it trying to do here? Open the account, want to open the application. What for kind of application? I'm not sure what's going on. I think it's trying to connect something. Signing in. Studio code spaces. Not necessary for now. Think. Unless it's a renamed GitHub thing, but I don't think so. Open close task demo. This is the one that we are running. So if we go back to there, see the samples, see the Excel, open, close, task pane demo, code dot. Now let's see if we can run this. npm start. That should give me at least a ribbon, if I remember correctly. In the meantime, I'm scanning my room for mosquitoes. Because if there are too many, I have to close the window, but it's also bringing up the temperature in my room. There, Contoso data. That should give me a ribbon with 2 items in there. Node is also compiled successfully. And there we have the ribbon with 2 buttons, show task pane and hide task pane. And currently they don't do a thing, I think. Oh, actually it's opening one of the task panes. But the other one is not closing, I'm pretty sure. Just reopening the same thing. So let's go over the documentation and see what the prereqs are to do this. Close this. Maybe we can close this. Where's the documentation? Here's a documentation about enabling, disabling commands. With some functionality, well, we just can read it, I think. Read about aloud from here. Let's do that.
When some functionality in your add-in should only be available in certain contexts, you can programmatically enable or disable your custom add-in commands. For example, a function that changes the header of a table should only be enabled when the cursor is in a table.
Yeah.
You can also specify whether the command is enabled or disabled when the Office Host application opens. Note: this article assumes that you are familiar with the following documentation. Please review it if you haven't worked with add-in commands, custom menu items, and ribbon buttons recently. Basic concepts for add-in commands.
Yeah, I assume that this is familiar, but let's quickly have a look at that. Add-in commands for Word, blah blah blah, yes. This is explaining the ribbon basics. So we can skip that and continue.
Commands. Preview status. The APIs described in this article are in preview and are currently only available in Excel. Note: to use this feature, you must use the preview version of the Office JavaScript API library from the Office.js CDN. The type definition file for TypeScript compilation and IntelliSense is found at the CDN and definitely typed. You can install these types with npm install savedev at types/OfficeJS preview. Rules and gotchas.
Wait a minute. First things first. Okay, let's check this. Where is it? This one, the part of the installer of the types. You must use the preview version of the Office API. That's this one. So that should be found in appsforoffice.com. Check that in the code. Schemas. I think it was located in the app maybe. Where did it go? This one. Why is this so huge? Let's make that a little bit smaller. So they're telling us to use this one. So let's copy this line and overrule it with this part, the beta library. Oops, mosquito. I think I have to close my window now. Otherwise there are too many mosquitoes in my room. Oops, where did my API go? There. So that's the beta. And what's the definition? Let's find all the entries for apps for Office in the code. Another mosquito. That's comment, I think. No, it's not comment. There should be the same library again. I don't want them to have me eaten alive. Save. Let's also open the example used in here. In here, the shared runtime. This one. Because this one actually has the switching ribbons enabled. Let's go in there as well. Now hopefully I won't get confused with one and the other. This one's showing finding the same thing. Oh, that's also already overruled. So what's this? Is that actually a thing? Debug. Okay. Looks like something like dog fooding. It's actually existing. Let's copy that and keep that for reference. In this case, they use the beta. It's different. So in the connect, they use something else. Probably used for something else. So let's leave that alone. First, I need to close my windows. Let's see. Quickly closing my windows to keep the bugs out. Oh, doesn't fit in the text editor. Something like this. Let's pull this screen up and I will be back in 1 minute. Closing my windows. And I'm back. Back again. So now squashing some bugs. completely wet by sweating around. Hopefully we get some thunder tonight to bring the temperature down. Type definition. Let's check types OfficeJS preview. And this is the runtime. This is the other one. Let's look over here. Packages. Dev dependencies. The preview is not in here, I think. Let's paste this in. There we go. Let's see what we get. We get severity with vulnerability. Okay, well, let's leave that for now. Bring in the version control. Well, not the version control, we got that's GitHub, but the versions. What's it called? Version extension, something. So now we got this one new in here. And it also brought in the latest version. Let's bring in the latest version for OfficeJS as well. Here it's Office Runtime 16. Let's see if it still runs. npm install. Oh, not in the package.json, obviously. npm install. Most likely did it already after bringing it in from the npm command, but let's just do it again. Better safe than sorry. npm start. See if that's still working. There's the ribbon item. Note compiled successfully. Okay, let's check if it's doing something. So that still works. Yeah. Don't save. Close this. Now let's get back to the documentation. Close the JavaScript stuff. A little bit of cleanup over here. Definitely typed. Question is, did it bring this in as well? Definitely typed. Is that in the code? not specifically, I think. Rules and gotchas. Single line ribbon in Office on the web. In the Office on the web, the API and manifest markup described in this article only affect the single line ribbon. They have no effect on the multi-line ribbon. They affect both ribbons for desktop Office. More information about two ribbons. See the new look of Office simplified ribbon. So apparently one of the items is not working online, I think. Probably. Shared runtime required. The APIs and manifest markup described in the article require that the add-ins manifest specify that it should use the shared runtime. To do this, take the following steps. In the runtimes element in the manifest, add following child runtime resource ID, Contosa shared runtime URL lifetime long. Let's see if that's already in there somewhere. No, any other project. It's also not in here. So the question is, where do we need this then? The runtimes element in manifest. Not in shared. This one, manifest file. Runtimes. I've seen this in one of the other projects, because it was in the schema. Let's see if this is something valid. No. But I commented on this somewhere in another section. Let's find this part. If there isn't already a runtime element in the manifest, create it as the third child under host element in the version overrides section. Like runtimes. Let's find runtimes in here. Where's my search thingy? Code. Where did I put the search? I'm always looking for the search window, but go to file. No. Obviously, code. Actions, projects. Oh, in here. And I don't want to search for this one. I want to search for something else. Like runtimes. There you are. It is actually in the shared runtime global state. Oh, and the other one as well. There apparently it is. Let me check my code in this one. Should be in the manifest according to the explanation. Under hosts. There's host. So bring it all the way back. There it is. Copy. Bring it over to the other one. That's in there, maybe. Hosts. In here. Because these are the buttons, I think. Get started. Open task pane. It's the one control. Types workbook must be this one. And let's stick to the documentation. Make this. This one. Now we have to find the shared runtime in the URL. Copy in the URLs. Excel. Here are the URLs. Now we have to do something here. Replace that one with the one on top. Keep some consistency in there. I'm not sure how it's in your place, but when I take one zip of water, 3 zips of water run out of my body. Especially now I close the windows. That's it, I think. For this one, the runtimes element, the manifest add following child element runtime. And let's see what its the explanation for this is. Runtime element specifies the runtime of your add-in. Child of host element. In Excel, the element enables the ribbon task pane. Let's read this aloud.
Add-in type. Excel. This element enables the ribbon, task pane, and custom functions to use the same runtime. For more information, see Configure your Excel add-in to use a shared JavaScript runtime.
So this is for the shared runtime.
In Outlook, this element enables event-based add-in activation. For more information, see Configure your Outlook add-in for event-based activation. Add-in type, task pane, mail. Important. Outlook. The event-based activation feature is currently in preview and only available in Outlook on the web. For more information, see how to preview the event-based activation feature. Syntax. XML. Copy.
Yeah,
Runtimes runtime.
Yeah, so this is actually used to identify this shared runtime. Lifetime is long. If there isn't already a runtime element, create one as a first element under the host element. That's what we did. In the resource URL section of the manifest, add the following child element. This is what we did. BT, it's not in BT. It is. BT URL, Contoso shared runtime. Contoso shared runtime URL, default value, HTTPS my domain, localhost 3000 in this case. And then the start page is index.html. That's not right, I think. Because this one should be most likely to be taskpane.html. Because I don't have an index. Index.html. No. This should be taskpane. If I'm correct. Because that's the start page where my domain is the domain for the add-in. That's localhost 3000 in my case. And also in the example over here. Index.html, depending on whether you're, let's read that again.
Depending on whether your add-in contains a task pane, a function file, or an Excel custom function, you must do one or more of the following 3 steps. If the add-in contains a task pane, set the resid attribute of the action.sourceLocation element to exactly the same string as you used for the resid of the runtime element in step 1, for example, contoso.sharedruntime.url. The element should look like this: source location resid equals contoso.sharedruntime.url/. If the add-in contains an Excel custom function, set the resid attribute of the page.sourceLocation element exactly the same string as you used for the resid of the runtime element in step 1, for example, contoso.sharedruntime.url. The element should look like this: source location.
Yeah, we don't have the custom function over here, but we do have the what's it called? The ribbon, the task pane. Set the resource ID attribute of the action source location element. Let's try to find that. Action source location. Find source location. There are a couple of them already. This one. Default settings. Here's the shared runtime. Another shared runtime is a little bit different. Source location. This one. Extension point for custom functions. That's this one and this one. And then we have the other one. Function file, Contoso add-in URL. So it's most likely something like this. Source location. This one. That is according to the documentation, I think. Source location, resource ID, shared runtime URL. If the add-in contains a task pane, set the resource ID attribute of the action source location. There's this one. This is the action. They are task pane URL. So in this case, it's not task pane URL, but that should be, because this is the one button, button close. The other one is the button. The other one is the button open. This one. So instead of task pane URL, we can also change this. Auto associate runtime. Well, let's do it according to the documentation. Otherwise we have a mismatch with the documentation. This is the action for the one button. This is the button, the other button. And this is the URL. That's now obsolete. It's exactly the same formatting. So basically we already had it in. It's very hard to concentrate with these temperatures. Let's find out what is 31 Celsius Fahrenheit. So it's 87.8 Fahrenheit in here, about something like almost 90, because I think it's even hotter than 31 degrees, but I don't have a temperature thing in here. Let's continue. Set the default state to disabled. By default, any add-in command is enabled when the Office application launches. If you want a custom button or menu to be disabled when the application launches, you specify this when it manifests. Just add enabled element with the value false immediately below. Enabled is false. I would say this enabled is false would be part of the enable button, of disable button. Change state programmatically. Create a ribbon updated data object that specifies the command and its parent tab by the ID specified in the manifest, and specify the enabled and disabled state of the command. But that is only takes into account the button, I think. Let's see. This is where we left off. If you want a custom button Or menu to be disabled when the Office application launches. Specify the manifest. Just add enabled with false. But if it's false, you're never able to disable it, enable it. But we can do this with the second button. So if I copy this, put this under the action of the close button. Something like this. Why is the group over there? Is that an orphan group? Custom tab. Something's not right here, I think. Or maybe it is. What's with all this noise over here? Control. There's a custom tab group icon control. There's a control. Let's terminate it over there. Control. Turn over there. Jump a little bit in there. Control should be indented a little bit more. Then we have a label. It's on its own. So I still think there's something wrong here with the indenting. Because the label is independent. There you go. My printer is not solving the indenting for some reason. There's a control. The control. This one is not right. Controls should be missing there. And the label is on the same level as the group. So now the enabled is telling something about the control. So the second one should be disabled. Let's save this and do some npm start. Oh, come on. I do this all the time, typing in my code when I try to run a command. Start. What's happening on Discord? Nothing. Well, what's this? Something's not right. 63. Yeah, I messed something up in here. By typing, oops. Redo. npm start again. Apparently I messed something up in the code. There's the ribbon. Now you notice the second one is disabled. So that Should be okay. So if I now trigger the show task pane over here, this should disable the show task pane and enable the hide task pane. Let's see if it's still running. Yes. Okay, we're getting close. Let's go back to the documentation. Change state programmatically. Essential step to changing the enable state, the adding create a ribbon updated data object that specifies the command and its parent tab. Enable button. Then we should also have a disable button. Let's find how they did this in the overall example. No enable button. Let's find the manifest over here. Custom functions. Button open task pane. Do we also have a close task pane? Yes. And here it is, what we did. Enabled false. So we're on the right track, apparently. Now we have to find things in commands, I think. Disconnect server, open task pane. And close task pane. Enable adding start, disable adding start. So let's also bring in a link to this document. Copy for reference. Manage ribbon task pane UI. Where's this readme? Here. No, that's different. Oh, that's the preview. Okay. So if I bring in something, preview manage ribbon task pane UI. Screenshot of the add-in with ribbon buttons enabled, disabled. Need to take that out. Put a link in here. That's something like reference. Bracket. Disable add in commands. The URL is actually this one. Oh. Something like this. Save. Preview. There it is. Yeah, it should be above the copyright. bring that in there. I think we should add a heat break into the session, just like as they do with the soccer teams these days. Every 20 minutes or so, I'm not sure, they having an extra break to drink some water. And manifest. There's the enabled false. Let's go back to the documentation. So what we saw in the other project, this one, did I actually put it in here? Yes, I did put it in there. It should not be in here. Should bring it in this one. That's what we get by keeping two things open. And let's make sure that we undo the change over here. What are all these changes? Just prettier or something? I don't know. Oh, these are all in mine. Let's go back in here and let's see if I can just undo this. Oh, bring it all back. Let's take it all out. Save. Now the modified is gone. No modification in the other project. Let's have a look at the commands in here. Have a look at the buttons. Do we have commands in here as well? Yes. Action. Do we have an action in here? TypeScript is also TypeScript. Oh, I thought I was not running this in TypeScript. Anyway, action. This was shared. No action function. Excel open close. Let's see. Also several interfaces. Create a ribbon updated data object that specifies the command. That was a link. Create a ribbon updated data object that specifies the command and its parent tab by its IDs. Pass the updated ribbon updated data object to the Office ribbon request update. So this is the ribbon updated data thingy. We pass it to that. So what if I do this? Copy, bring that into the commands. Get global. I think the get global was in the other one. Here, get global. Get global is any. It's this one. Then a whole slew of variables for state. Action is action. Where's the action? Action is not in here. But let's be persistent and do the same thing. Hi David, how are you doing? Welcome back to the stream. I'm working still on the enable disable button thingy because there was someone in the issues requesting for this, especially for this one. Where was it? In GitHub somewhere? Issues. Let's see, closed. This one, how to get started on a similar project. You wanted to enable disable buttons in its own project. So this was actually what I was working on a couple of weeks ago. So I'll try to continue with that. So far so good. Close task pane button and open task pane button event. Copy. Bring it in my project. There's a lot going on here. Console is not available. The question is, where do they get the console log item? I could do the same, like APIs helpers, copy. But I don't want to put in too much overhead. Utilities. Let's find it in here. Utilities. Office APIs helpers. Get global. So much stuff in there that I probably don't need. This is part of globals. That's from the types node. Let's see, where is the modules? Yeah. Package, this one. I was looking for this one. Also, how do they bring that in? Update ribbon. Connect service. This is probably all not needed yet. Update ribbon is probably needed. Startup behavior. Let's see what's in there. So basic JavaScript that I need to find out where it is. Add console log JavaScript. I know what it is, but how do I get it in? Is this something you post the code for when you're done? Yeah, I actually want to check this in. Let's see if I'm working on my own fork, because then I can actually release this. Git. Oh, there we go again. Git status. Git. What is the master? I'm not sure if I'm in my own fork or let's see, how can we find out? That's basically my own code. Well, basically it's code from partly from the demo that Microsoft added. Microsoft requested for a separate file, separate demo, with just the add-in, the add-in enable and disable button feature. So I'm kind of stripping, or better said, building it from the ground up, and to do the same thing with just enabling and disabling the buttons. So for that reason, I don't want to put too much in here what's not needed from the other demo, like this. Apparently, still console is not defined. No, that's not what I wanted. What I did, I think, was create another branch, did I? Yeah, I did create another branch for this. But I did that on my own fork, I think. Let's find out how I get this console in there. So function writes a message to lock. Yeah, I know what it is, but where is it defined? Use console log to output the debug. Yes, sure, but then I first need to have a console object. Fire query extension. Well, the Firefox, no. Firebug. So let's find console log not recognized. JavaScript. It's broken. Squiggly. So let's add a squiggly. Probably didn't wait for it to be posted. I thought you were the live code. No, not really. Squiggly. Console is notified ESLint no dev. Editing the live code? No, I don't think that's the proper thing to do. Because if you mess things up, then you're breaking your live code. And I don't think that's the right thing. Node is true. The node of rules looks out for undefined variables. No console is off. Disallow the use of console. Okay. Editing the live code now. Yeah. Like debugging it in place. No console is off. See if there's a no console in my project. Nothing. The other one. Console browser refine. It's coming from this one, but this is the global D that's generated, I think. This needs to be global to avoid TS2403. Types node. So who brings this in? Look at the package. TypeScript. Different node. Types node. No. Oops. Where's the package? In here. Types. A lot of types in here. If I bring them over in here, types, but I don't want all the types in there. This one is already duplicate. This one is duplicate. Polyfills duplicate. Table course duplicate. And is now still not solved. Unless you maybe install it. No. VM. What's it doing over here? Escape. Stuck in listing the log file. this is how do I get out of here? And come on. Kill terminal. Kill the terminal. When you were done streaming a couple of weeks ago, I cloned your GitHub clone, but I looked like the code from the week before had not been updated. I was going to try to follow along. Oh, yes, that's an issue. And that's because I wasn't able to get things up and running, and I didn't want to push things in that was breaking. So for that reason, I did not commit it. Let me see if I'm actually in my own fork. Because I think I'm in my own fork. You should be able to see this in Studio Code as well, I think, somewhere over here. Publish bronze? No, not really. Let me check what's in here. It's kind of terrible that I don't even know what repository I'm currently in. Is there an update or something? Why is there a checkbox there? A bullet 1. Shared runtime, this is the other one. This is my own. Git status. What I need in here is the fancy, what's it called? The fancy Git command line. Oh, maybe I can do that by opening this one, the terminal. Oh, that's not the terminal. Kind of look alike. PowerShell, I think. No. Really don't know. Data repos. Terminal settings. PNP. CD samples. Oh. Yeah. Samples. Open, close. That's the one that's new. Close task pane. cd. Oh, it didn't do it. Excel. What's it called? Open. Close taskbar. There it is. But this doesn't show me any status in GitHub either. Show origin remote. Git remote v-v, which shows you the URLs that the Git has stored in the short name. Git status. Git. What was it? Remote. Origin. They are. Yeah, so it's my own. It's my own GitHub repo, apparently. So let's see if we can do some commit in here, but then I need to fix the errors first. So to do that, we can do something like, this is the wrong project. Where is it? Commands. I picked commands. Let's take that out. Now the package. What's going on here? Oh, this is all new, obviously. Yeah. For that reason, you can't see it anywhere in my repo either, because it's not in there. GitHub. Go to my repos. Where is it? Let's have a look at the changes in here. Docs reference. Must be in this repo. Just get back into my own repo. You have a new badge. Why? Contribute code to the 2020 GitHub Archive program. Okay, nice. But where is my fork? This one. This is the one. Samples. And it should be add it in here. If I commit it, and there's now only this one. Forked from, yeah. So let's quickly see how we can do this. First go back to the package, because I put in some crap there that should not be in there yet. Like all the React stuff, I don't want the React stuff in. So let's just do this. Now we're back to a working version. Save. Let's try if this is working. Because then I can commit this to my repository. Then you can follow along again. There's the Contoso data item. Got it. Node should be compiling, but it's not. Why is it not compiling? Did I take something out too much? Oh yes, I put in the header items. Which one is mine? This one is mine. Back in here. Commands. This one. Let's take this out again. Oops. Now it should be working again. Compiled successfully. Contoso, show task pane. That's still working. There you are. So if I now close this, don't save. And close node. Now let's see npm stat, no, not npm, git status. Modified the readme, but that's not what I wanted. Because I don't want to change anything in the other projects. Shared runtime. Deleted tsconfig, tslint. Discard changes. Save. Now let's see if this npm start. No, not npm start. Git status. Readme still changed. Why? Discard changes. These all should be from my project. status. Nothing added to commit, but untracked files are present. Git add dot git status new file. Git commit initial open close code. Git status. So I added the files and I committed the files. Now I should push. Is that enough? Just git push. Commit and push to GitHub. GitHub. Push the change in your local repository to GitHub. Or is in branch name? I would think that I then get another branch as well. Check out a new branch where you want to push your commit. Select commit from the history, push, select cherry pick. Well, we can just try remote branch name. Git fetch, git branch, check out branch name, new one. Let's see what's happening if we do just push git push. No, yeah, push. Current branch open. close task pane has no upstream branch. That's right. To push the current branch and set the remote as upstream. Git push. Let's find out because it's all in a different folder. So set upstream. We're doing something. New branch. Yeah. Now let's see if we have a new branch in here. We do. And in this branch, we do have the open close task demo, task pane demo. And I all need to change this, but that will be work in progress. So if I just open the branch, open the branch already in here, and then so if I go in here, get the code, and just do some testing in here. See the data repos, make directory test, cd test, git clone. Get a clone of my just pushed repo. The PNP samples, I think. Excel. Oh, I wanted to have my different branch. PNP. See these samples. See, my open close thingy is not in here because I cloned the wrong. So how do you clone a different branch then? Let's Google that. So let's get rid of the old one. Test. And I probably have something open there. Yeah. Where is it? This is not the test. This is the test one. Try again. you all sweating like me? Because it's getting hotter and hotter in here. Git clone, single branch, and then the branch name should be something like that's not the one that I was looking for. Interesting that it detects that I created a branch in here. Open, close, task pane. Open, close, task pane. Open, close, task pane. And then the... Oh, okay. Something like this. Learning a lot of new things with Git today. cd pmp samples. There it is. cd excel open close code. Now it's getting confused by opening another Excel open close task pane. Let's try to run this npm install. So you all should be able to do the same thing by cloning this specific branch. Oh, I even have an open close task pane demo to do file in there to keep track of what we were doing last time. Done. So still one vulnerability, but it's in there by default. npm start. Got it. Let's wait for node to complete. And there it is. So now we should have some buttons over here. And you notice the second one is disabled because it's disabled in the manifest. And the first one should be active. And it is. Really? Let's try to run it. And it's working. Okay. That's funny. So now everything is also checked into GitHub on my fork. So if you want to follow along again, you are now able to do that. By going to my GitHub repo. Now I need to get rid of all this. Otherwise I will be completely confused. Repos. hope I don't throw out too much. But then again, I shouldn't have called it test. That's my own fault then. Then when this is done, we go to have a look at the to-do file to see what's in there. I actually left some show notes for myself. Where is it? Shared runtime. Oh yeah, no changes. That's nice. So go back to the files in here and go to the actual project. In here, also no changes anymore. Now I want to have a look at tower. We're actually showing that we are currently on this branch, and I checked it in. So no changes here either. So go to the to-do file, have another look at the to-do file. There it is. Create a close command, fix debugging. Ah, yeah, I was trying to get some debugging going in there. And I've already got that running. I'm not going to do that right now again. So instead, create a close command. That should be implement close button and implement open button, but that's already in there. Open button, close button, but we also need some state in here. Implement state. Let's have a look at the documentation again. Close some things up. This is a test thingy. Let's close this. The ribbon updated data. Copy. So if I put this in command, enable button says never used. Yes, that's right. Enable button, but how does it, what's it called in the other one? Commands there. Why is this so stupid white? Open task pane, that's this one. This doing two different things. And we have a open task pane. Copy. Button open task pane. That's different because this one is only enabling the button. So let's start with the beginning. we have something like this. Open task pane function, and we have another one. Close task pane. Let's for now take this out. What's the squiggly? Event is declared, but its value is never read. Yeah, that's the same thing because it's not in there yet. Event completed. So this is doing nothing yet. And as you can see, we also need to keep track of the task pane if it's open or not. And we can check that. Go to definition. No definition. It's in the state is a definition. Global state. It's this one. So if I look for this task pane open, that's in commands. If it's open, then it's set to true. If it's closed, then you set to false. The API's helpers. And this is the thingy that we saw in the documentation, this one. There. Office Runtime UI. This also has an Get Global. Update ribbon. Import Get Global from Get Global there. Get it from the commands source. So that's the Office API's helpers. So there's a folder utilities next to source. New folder, utilities, and that should get a new file in there. Office API's helpers. Copy. New file. And bring in only the things that we need. That's in this case the global object. That's called like that. It's not yet used, obviously, because there's nothing in here. And then we have a function. this brings in the item from the documentation, the ribbon updated data object. And let's see if we can just copy this part and only take the relevant part from this. Copy. Bring that in here, then the global is used. Office runtime. It's not defined. Where did we get the office runtime? Nowhere. Let's find that. Nowhere. T is ignore. What the hell is T is ignore? If you know what T is ignore is, just let me know. You can use TSLint disable next line. TypeScript 2.6, you can now bypass compiler error warning by with a specific line 2.6. Let's see what it's in this one. TS line. What's the TypeScript in here? TS loader, TypeScript. Let's check the other project. For that I need to have a look at the package in here. TypeScript 364. That's much older. Office runtime, Office preview. Interesting, because it doesn't need this one if you use this one, I think. TS loader 620. Six to 2. Webpack 123. 123. The CLI is in there. Webpack dev server, but not a Webpack merge. Not sure if that's needed. TSLint. There's no TSLint in here. What if we put TSLint in there? There I go again. Always typing in the file before running npm install. npm audit. Let's see what's the issue here. Run npm save dev copy webpack plugin. Advisories. Serialize JavaScript. Versions. And this is apparently used by Webpack. Copy Webpack. Copy Webpack. Who is bringing this in? This one. Save. npm install. Let's see if we now lose the vulnerability. Yes, we lost the vulnerability. So let's make a note of that. Oops. Fix vulnerabilities. Enter. To do. What are the keys? Toggle. Alt D. Alt D. Nice. We have an open button. Oh. Where did it go? Did I close it? No. Not sure what I did. There was something strange there. Alt D, that's what I did, I think. I think I was doing that. Alt D. Yeah. And What did we need to fix next? Oh, this is shared runtime again. We were fixing this one. Office runtime UI. Office runtime is not defined. Office runtime is not defined. Like OfficeJS. A lot of OfficeJS in there, but module ... declares get global locally, but it's not exported. Okay, that's a good thing. That's in the commands there. That's in this case it's const, and in the other project that's probably different. There. Get global. Oh, this one. Function. And this one is exported. Copy. Go. Fix. That's this. This is ours. But the interesting thing is that I also want to put in something like this. This is not working. It must have something to do with the ESLint, I think. Where's the ESLint setting for this? Now first have a look at this one. Because this one is now fixed. This is fixed. So where do we get this one? Office runtime UI. Well, let's first move a lot of these items out as well. Controls. I don't have connect service, disconnect service, insert data, not some, enable add-in start. That's another feature, disable start, and our feature just limits to task pane open and task pane close. Save. Now I have to find out why Office runtime is not defined. Where is it? Command. There. No. It was the utility. The utility. In there. Go to definition. No, nothing. Go to definition. Nothing. So where is this defined? Is it caused by this one? I think so. Cannot find name. Any is not defined. Little bit different. TS-lint JSON. Something ts-ignore. 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 Where is it? Suppress errors in TS files using ts-ignore. And what do we need to get that in? ts-ignore. Do we have the space in there? Yes. ts-ignore. Comment suppresses all errors originating from the following line. It's recommended practice to have a remainder of the comment following explain why which error is suppressed. Please note that this comment is only suppressed the error reporting. We recommend that this is used this very sparingly, but it's used a lot in the original Office project. So that's kind of strange. And what do you need to activate that? Except running TypeScript 2.6, but we have TypeScript 2.6, I think. The other function, other project, I mean. The difference is that I don't have something like this. Like rules. Where did this come from? TypeScript is linked. Let's find this one. Let's find out what the file is for. Pluggable thingy. ESLint init. You'll have an ESLint resource file. It's also possible to install ESLint globally rather than locally. npm install ESLint global is not recommended. If you're coming from a version before one seed migration after running init, you have an ESLint resource something file in your directory. In it you see some rules configured like this, blah blah blah. The names semi-quotes are names of rules. The first value is blah blah blah. 3 error levels you find brain control over how you. Because of this, all the rules marked on this rules page. You can use configurations that others have created by searching ESLint config. ESLint JSON. ESLint. Let's search for the same thing, ESLint. So let's look for the combination. Which one is preferred? Or TypeScript ESLint converts your ESLint to ESLint. ESLint. Did you know ESLint is deprecated? Hooray. What's the other name? ESLint. Okay. Use ESLint to ESLint config to expedite and migrate your project to ESLint. Consider taking a peek at relevant documentation. npx ESLint to ESLint config. So if I copy this one, man, I'm wet. Before planning. So this is the old one. This is mine. So if I rename this one to something like this and copy the other one, copy, paste. Now let's see what happens if I do what is recommended here. Comments. This is what it's creating. JSON. You install packages. Doesn't work. Could not import the EaseLint plugin node. We go from one issue to the other. EaseLint plugin node. I think EaseLint's already in there. Done. Try again. Plugin promise. What time is it? 12:05. 0 vulnerabilities. Now let's do it. Plugin React. I don't want React. Never mind. Let's throw this out. Throw this one out. Put this one back. Oh. tsconfig.json. Let's clean up a little bit. Also, let's check this. After runtime is updated. Copy packet. Let's delete this and that one. Copy this one was updated version. TS-lint. Is TS-lint also in the other one? Yeah, it is. TypeScript. UI, Fabric, React. But I don't want React in my thingy. Because it was required to create a demo without too much of this stuff in there. This is the my, yeah. Let's check, compare what's in here. Allow JS. Exclude node modules, dist lib, and lib AMD. ES5. Target. That's the same. Allow JS not in there. Module. Common JS. JSX or React. Module resolution. It's not in here. That might be Node. Copy. Source map. Emit decorator metadata. It's not in there. No emit error. Experiment. That's what is in there. Remove comments false. Out there list. That's interesting. Allow unused labels, not in there. No implicit returns. No unused params. No unused locals, true. It's all not in there. Lib ES7. ES7 DOM. ES7 ES 2015. Seven. Node modules types. Nothing in there. Module resolution node. Let's build this. npm build install. Save this first. Zero vulnerabilities, but still one issue over here. Office runtime. My guess is that the Office runtime came from the React stuff. Or maybe, what is this? Ribbon API examples. Office runtime tab. Runtime dialog. Runtime dialog. Can we get another language here? Maybe. Not too strong in my Japanese. This is a complete other language. Let's make that English something. English US maybe. That's much better. Not sure why it's getting this. Wait. No. Office runtime UI get ribbon. Must be defined somewhere. Here the same thing is used. disable add-in commands. It either only works on the web when the user is using single line ribbon. So for what reason is it not accepting this one? Oh. Office. It's not defined. Office runtime is not defined. The number of tabs are really growing by the minute. Let's get rid of all this stuff. Office runtime is not defined. It's not defined. Where is it? When testing add-in incognito mode in Chrome, notice that SDK components are not available globally or on the window. Accessing runtime throws and Excel is undefined. Should be defined by the time Office onReady callback is called. So it's a runtime component. It's the onReady. onReady. It's now onReady. onReady. Here's an onReady. That's in commands. So that's interesting because that's not in the other one. This never checks if it's ready. This is in the helpers. Yeah, that's what we copied. So where do we check if the UI is ready? So the story behind this is apparently that whenever this one is finished, if this is the case, then it should be ready to run this one. Share time. This should not be share time, at least. It should be share time is something from the other one in the manifest. Share time. See, that's a custom tab. In my case, I don't think it's called share time. Custom tab. Yeah, it's also called share time. Okay. Ooh, my screen is shutting down. And that's not what we want. That means we are programming too long already. Almost 3 hours now. Now the other monitor. One by one my monitor's shutting down. So the question is if I do something like tsignore, because that's filled by the already, whenever it's ready. What if I, oh, it's already in there, but it's not honored. Running a little bit in circles because we've been looking at this already. Improve the blah blah blah. That's not it. You can use this. Doesn't work either. Please ignore. For all sides of other errors, but how do you get this in? How do you get this in? Press project, create React app. Failed to compile. That's ESLint failing the build, not TS. TypeScript ESLint. Temporarily, blah blah blah. Configuring rules. Must be setting curly error. Must be related to this ESLint thing. Boom. That was my microphone. Target is 5. Target is 5. Module common.js. What if I do something like this? Control A, Control C, Notepad. Control A, oh no, Control A, Control C, Control V, save. npm build, come on. npm build. npm start. Problems. That's interesting. What's the most ostentatious item you've ever purchased? I have no clue. What's yours? Apparently it compiled now and it was running. Let's close it. You have so many options to buy things. Usually things that I buy are not really visible. Let's check, because this one did not really help. My own project, obviously. So the runtime is now somewhat fixed, but I'm not sure if it's working. Where's my to-do? To-do, there's the to-do. Fix. This one should be in here. So now I can close this again. And let's close a lot of the windows here. Enable button. Here's the office already. Test for controls. So if we look at the project, this one, and go to commands, there we have the buttons. Open and close button must be in here somewhere. Here, open task pane. And the close task pane. Both of these are running. Update ribbon. So let's bring in update ribbon. Commands. Yeah, that's complaining that update ribbon is not there yet. Now I need find update the ribbon somewhere. Most likely in this one somewhere. This is done whenever something is in there, the helpers. Set task pane status. That's a state thingy. Ensure state is initialized. Where's the function update ribbon? Go to definition. There it is. Oh, that's the one that we are working on. That's the one in here. No, that's in there. In here. It's this one. So for that we need to import the API helpers. As is done in here as well. Copy. Into the commands. And startup behavior, visible helper, connect server, monitor can be done. Update ribbon. Okay. Now let's check again with the button. In the original project. Set connected now. Is task pane open? That's the next step. Because we need to specify that if we close it, we should close it. And if it's opened, it should set to true. And we start initially with false. Now let's find where the state is defined. Most likely within the same helpers. Where is the state here? Ensure state is initialized. Copy. Connect service. So it's below update ribbon. Update ribbon, there is, should be below that. Now we have all this console stuff. Going on. Let's put it into do as well. enable, what's it called? Console log. Restore console lines. So let's get rid of all the console stuff. There. Office not defined. The question is, where did they get Office in here? Namespace Office. No namespace Office. Declare namespace Office, and that's done by index DTS. Something like this. Where does it get Office? Index.html. There's Office, Global Office. Commands. Where does it get the Office namespace? Hello, source code. Welcome. How hot was your party? My party is very hot. It's about, I think, like 90 degrees Fahrenheit in my, yeah, so it's even hotter in your place. Because I'm living near the coast, so that's at least couple of degrees lower, but it's still very hot. I'm swimming in my shirt, so I was actually almost ready to throw in, because also my drinking is gone, and everything is in my chair by now. So that's terrible. Yeah, I'm still working on my Office add-ins, but it's kind of a mess where they left it all. So it's a lot of debugging and finding out where they left things in the code, like the Office namespace. No clue where they put it in. What were you doing? A 3D thing? What was your project? Fetish lace. Nice icons. One of the source code icons, emotes, I should say. Source code high emote. Very nice. It's a complete different audience, I'm pretty sure, because Office is nothing like doing things to 3D. It's more like 2D. JavaScript 13. Are you building a new small game? Yes, it started again. Is it a year ago now? From the previous one already? Can't imagine that it's a year ago. Working on a new WebXR game. Yeah, I'm curious to see September 13th. Yes, so it's actually a year ago now. Time flies. That's crazy. Time is going so fast that I'm growing a beard now, but I have to take it off again. My wife is not happy with it, and to be honest, I'm not too happy about it either. But, it's kind of itchy. So you're probably heading to bed now, but it's sweating in bed as well. I think I only got a couple of hours sleep last week. It looks good on me, growing me even more older than I already am. So yeah, it was kind of funny because Fanny was not aware that I was growing my beard, and he did post me a fake picture of an old picture of myself, yes, in the class. And where he put me through some sort of a generator where I was an old man, and actually looked a little bit like I'm looking now. So that was a sign for me that I really have to take it off again. Or maybe paint it black first. Let's see. And I have to think back what I was doing. Where's my other project? This one. Oh, actually, this one is active over here, but not over here. Well, it is. Oh, it is. Okay. I'm looking for something that's already solved. This one. Okay, it's available in here. But it's not in here. Yeah, I'm off to sweat. Bet I mean, yeah. Yeah, happy 2 hours sleep because it's too hot to sleep probably. And see you next time. Thanks for the raid. and see you probably, I think tomorrow is Friday. Actually, today is already Friday, but I think Friday is your streaming day as well, I think. Isn't it? Well, anyway, I see you next stream. Then I will blow your air horn again. So why is doesn't this not found here while it is in here? Is that because of this one? Global? Normally it isn't, but I try to stream as much as possible. Are you going for partner? Thanks, Timmy. See you next time. Bye-bye. Not defined. Strange. I'm not sure why it's not finding this one. Is this some sort of a special thingy? If I put this in? Don't believe it. What's this? True. Yeah, now it's actually accepted. Really? Wow. So is that something ESLint kind of thing? Probably. Bye-bye. Although waving on stream is something like landing in clapping your hands when landing your airplane on your holidays. Something that's not you should not never do. But we have our holidays in our back garden, so so I learned another thing now, that if you put something in comments on top, that it's actually removing the issue, because the Office namespace is probably generated by the startup of the onReady thing. OnReady, this one, or at least it's created by Microsoft itself. Let's have a look at the other ones. Where are we going? To the helpers again? Where is his state? Ensure state. Did I? Yeah, that's what I copied. But there's a lot of stuff in there that I probably don't need yet. Because I'm only interested in the task pane status. And not so much in connected stuff. Logged in. I'm also not interested in being logged in. So what if I just clear all this out. Add in state. Startup behavior is not what I'm interested in at this time. So not if the thing is changed. What do we have all in here? We are getting the global item. Init is false. If is Office initializing. Let's see if that's a property I put in somewhere. Because this is probably done somewhere in here. No. Copy. There. Oh, that's a property of the caller. Ensure state. Copy. That should never be in here because that's a copy of the thingy. Try to find it in the original project. That's a README. That's part of the helpers again. This one is an important one. Initialize, was initialized. Initialize. This is only in the helper. So this one is defined in the helpers. So this one. Yeah. Oh, that's called by the function. This one. But we're not in is Office initialize is false. That's this one. Nowhere. So where does it store the check if it's initialized? It should be in here. Because the already I think is not in this one. No. Of course, when the runtime environment is loaded and the add-in is ready to start, reason parameter of the initialize event So let's try this. Copy. That should be something in here. If if it's ready on ready, then this should be set to true. Never used. Oh. Oh. Copy. Yeah, this is not working. Ensure state initialized. That's one from the other one. Also, the monitor sheet state change is not needed anymore. Add and get data also not. Render not because that's thingy. This is a local one, I think. Already, it's already 1 o'clock, 1 a.m. I actually need to, let's check this one, copy. Because that should be in here. I already have that in here. Copy. The other one is not needed. Ensure state initialized. That's one. This one. This. So what if I local storage is not interested in the local storage? Well, you've never read. Well, let's comment this out. I think it's not yet used. Save. Now I'm missing that one. Save. Let's make it compilable.